I have already started this, which you guys know because that is the whole point of this video to begin with, is start books I haven't, finish books I haven't finished, finish books. The whole point of this vlog is to finish books. Hi you guys, welcome back to Jazzy's Land. I am Jaslyn. Fall's here, so I feel like I want to wrap up a lot of the books that just have been on my list. I've just been in the middle of that I haven't quite finished, or I've just been dragging on for what I feel like is far too long. So I'm starting this vlog to get through these books. The first one in this list is going to be The Measure by Nikki Erlick. I've started this, I don't know, early September, I feel like, and I have a little over 100 pages left in this book, and I just want to close this out. So we have The Measure. Next we have Blood Like Magic by Liselle Sambury. This is another book that I started like a while ago, but I just have not gotten the chance to complete it. It's just been sitting on my shelf looking at me. I'm on page 152, so I don't even think I'm halfway into this book. And it's pretty thick, but it's on my list. I need to finish it. I want to close this one out. And lastly, I have Little Rot by Akwaeke Emezi. I love Akwaeke Emezi. I started this book, but it's like super intense and kind of heavy, and so I kind of put it down. But I want to pick it back up, and I do want to complete it. This is not a DNF. This is just a let me get my life together book. So this one's on my list as well. These are the 3 books for the vlog. Don't know how long it's going to take me. Hopefully not long. But I do think I'm going to be starting with The Measure. This is going to be the first book that I'm going to be reading in this vlog. Let me give you guys a little synopsis. So The Measure is about this dystopian America, kind of. Everyone who's over the age of 22 receives these boxes, and inside these boxes have a string, and the string represents the measure of your life. So basically, if you have a short string, you're going to die soon, and if you have a long string, you are going to live a very long time. And so it's following a world in which basically how long you're going to live. That's like one of the big questions in life, is like, oh, you never know when you're going to die. But with this, it's like you do know when you're going to die. It has a lot of different point of views and different perspectives. Some short stringers, some long stringers, some people who chose not to look at all, and just kind of following how the world is reacting to like this newfound normal. And this book is frustrating, it's inspirational, it's moving, it's sad. It makes you feel a lot of different things. So I'm close to the end, and so I just want to kind of wrap this up and see where it's going, because I know from the reviews and from the synopsis that it's supposed to be an inspiring tale. And I have felt very inspired by some points. I think I've spoken about this some more. It's kind of like encouraged me to kind of go for the things that are important to me. But I don't know how this is all going to round out, because right now things are happening that are very frustrating for me when it comes to the political climate of how short stringers are getting treated in the media, because people see them as dangerous because, oh, if you have a short string, you don't care about your life. And it's like, well, is that true, or is that just, are we fear mongering, right? This is what I'm going to be starting out with, and I'm going to come back to you guys with my thoughts. I have been reading The Measure by Nikki Erlick, as you guys know, and I've been loving it. So two of the characters in this universe, they have been like sending letters between each other back and forth, and like one girl, she hasn't looked at her string, and then he knows that he has a short string, and so he's kind of just been talking about how he feels having a short string and all of that good stuff. And honestly, It's so sweet and so cute, but it's low-key like having like this romance subplot. We're getting like this romance subplot between the two of them. And it's so unexpected. This is not a romance book at all by far, but it was just like very cute. And I was like, oh my gosh, are they going to like find out that it's each other, that they've been having like these really intimate and deep letters between, or what? So I'm loving that. I'm hoping to finish it. I have 90 pages left, like exactly 90 pages left. So I'm hoping that I'll finish it within like today. Because again, you guys, this has been way too long. Make no mistake, it has been several days. It has been several days. I am officially finished with The Measure by Nikki Erlick. And this book was a journey. I'm radiating between 3 stars, maybe 4 stars. I feel like when I first started this book in the beginning, I was like, oh, this is probably going to be a 4-star read for me. What I found is that it lost me. And here's the thing about books like this. If you're going to write a book like this, it's essentially about ideas. And you have to have some really profound and really good ideas to, complete a book like this. Now, a lot of the things in this book I would agree with. I liked some of them. Fell a little flat for me, and I'm not sure I completely agree with what Nikki Erlick is trying to say. So you guys know that this is The Measure, and they have these strings, and then these strings tell you how long your life is going to be. Basically, it is the measure of your life. The issues I had with this book: one, it didn't really push me to keep going forward. It's not a very plot driven book. This basically follows a complete 1 year cycle of when they got the strings. These strings appeared randomly to like basically the first year, and then it does kind of like a several years later epilogue thing. This book did not push me to keep reading it. It was very easy to like put down, especially when it got to like some of those more frustrating and upsetting parts. It was very easy to just put down and not really feel any need to pick it up. I feel like I'm learning this about myself, and I'm really more of a plot driven reader. And when there's no plot, I have to really 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 love the characters. And the characters in this, there's not a single person in here that I'm like, oh my gosh, I adore them, I love reading from their point of view. No, but it was just kind of interesting thought, life questioning, those kinds of conversations happening in this book, which is to be expected. I think I spoke about this in the last clip, was just there was like this underlining romance between the two characters, and they were writing letters to each other, and I thought that was cute. But overall, I ended up not really liking it that much because it had some undertones of like women having to like give up what their dreams were to, be a mother and have the family. um and so I didn't really like that, but it was only like a short, like little brief moment, and maybe that's not what the author was going for completely, but that's kind of what I got from it. I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. This book, it follows a lot of different characters, and I feel like I didn't really like that. I felt like we were getting a very high level look at these characters, a very superficial, very much like just telling us like what they were doing kind of thing, instead of really getting into like these characters' heads and their motives. I don't know. I didn't enjoy that. I wish I could have been more in depth. It all felt very superficial. A lot of the conversations, there were some like conversations I felt like, oh, well, I wish I would have read that on book. I wish you would have actually let us in there and let us hear what, actually happened versus like telling us. Also, the structure of this book is weird too, because it's like there's different parts. So like It starts in summer, so like summer's the first part, and then it goes into fall, and then it goes into winter, and then it goes into spring. So like these are like the different parts. What's weird about it is that it wouldn't really like complete the parts. So it's like, okay, we ended winter, but then going into spring, it was like, okay, we're recapping basically what happened in winter that we just that you didn't get to read because she didn't include that in the book. She's like, okay, like the spring section just started, and then it's like, okay, yeah, winter was crazy. This happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, and now we're here. It had a lot of like jumps that I didn't like. And I feel like in the beginning of the book, it didn't do that. In the beginning of the book, I felt we were more engrossed into the story, and then towards the end, it just felt like, okay, she thought this book was getting a little too long and just was like, okay, let's just wrap it up. Let's just give them a little overview. But then she would describe the most random stuff. And so I don't I don't really get it. I don't really get it. And I know that's a lot of critiques on the book, but it also did have some underlining, like very like inspiring and moving qualities about it and themes that it was tackling in this that I thought were interesting. And I did enjoy that. And I did feel like, okay, what would I do with my life if I was a short stringer, and those kind of inspirational things in this book. But overall, this is honestly not my favorite thing. Not my favorite thing. I didn't hate it though. Like, I just don't know if I would recommend this to people. Like, I feel like there's probably a book out there that has like these same themes that's probably does it better than this. There's also the whole candidacy, like it all just felt very much depressing. Like I wasn't inspired enough. I wasn't moved enough, and I wish I was. You're thrown into like this dystopian, quote unquote dystopian world, and this is how different people in different situations react to this new normal. And it's very reminiscent of like the pandemic. Like, okay, there has been like some dramatic change, some dramatic thing has happened, and now we all need to figure out what this means for our lives, for our families. That's kind of what this gave. I'm not super sure when this was released, but I'm pretty sure it's probably post pandemic, because it is very reminiscent of that whole idea that like the world can change so drastically in a very quick time. And then the ending felt very trite, just, and then we all kissed and made up, and like maybe life is hard, but hey, we keep going. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. I don't know. I guess like the whole time I'm reading it, I'm like, the ending of this book is really going to change my rating. It's really going to make my rating what it is, because it's like, okay, you're giving us all of these things. It's like, what do you really have to say? Like, really wrap it up for us. And I guess like the ending for me, just, I wasn't super moved. And I know I said this book was moving, but I don't know, the ending did not slam dunk it. She really just said, okay, that's enough. She really said, I'm tired of writing this book, and decided to end it. So that's that, and I'm happy that I completed it. Whoop whoop. Next, we are going to be moving on to Little Rot by Akwaeke Emezi. I have already started this, which you guys know, because that is the whole point of this video to begin with. So I'm on page 132. I was reading this on the train yesterday. I was getting into it, and I almost missed my stop because I was getting into it a little too hard. But I love Akwaeke. I'm excited to get back into it, even though I know this book is a heavy one. And I feel like the measure was almost heavy, trying to be heavy. It definitely had its moments. So here we go. Another one. Let's knock her out. All right. Okay, peoples. So, reading update. I have gotten pretty far. into this book. I have about 70 pages left, a little less than 70 pages. And I have updates for you guys. One, a lot of bodily fluids are being exchanged in this book. A lot of bodily fluids are being exchanged in this. Every single scene punches you in the face. Like every single scene, there is something happening and it is intense or sexual or horrible. Every single scene. I'm having to pay more like closer attention to the timestamps in this book because this is all happening in like 2 days. I'm pretty sure like it's all a weekend and it's not told in chronological order. So it's jumping back and forth between times, just changing the point of view. So it's like, okay, you might have just read what someone did on Saturday at 1 p.m. And so you're reading through that, and then it'll hop back. It will switch to like a different point of view. Like the next chapter will switch to a different point of view, but it's set at like the same time. It'll be like at 1:30 or something, even though you just already read what another person did from 1 to 3. You know what I mean? I have to like kind of pay attention to when things are happening. And then it's like you're lining up. So all of these different characters are kind of like colliding and they're all kind of intertwined in this big mess that all started because of a sex party or because Kalu and Ima broke up, I guess. Also, what I will say about Ima, and if you've read this book, then you'll understand, but she is delusional. Like, I just got back to her like point of view not too long ago, and I was just like, why is this girl so delusional? And I don't think she really even realizes, but it's like she can't realize because she doesn't know all the stuff that has happened since, you know, her and her man have broken up. It's just so interesting reading it. I am concerned. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not that far from the end, and I just feel like there's so much going on. And I feel like it's going to end very abruptly because there's no way, like, I don't know. And Emezi is really just exploring like all of the darker parts of each of their characters. And a lot of it has to deal with like sexual repression and, you know, shame and just like some of like a lot of these like darker sides that are frequently avoided, I feel like, in books. But Akwaeke don't avoid nothing. They dive headfirst into everything, into the little rot in all of us. But I don't know if my rot's like that. I mean, it is extremely dark. Overall, it's like the story has me engrossed. Like I'm turning the pages. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm concerned for several people in this book. I am concerned about what is about to happen to them. I am intrigued. Like I'm gasping. I was like, I'm like, no, don't do that. Like I was literally talking to myself while I was reading it because it had me that like engrossed into the story. I'm kind of hoping that I'll finish this tonight. I don't know if I will. It might be a tomorrow morning I finish it, but I'm gonna keep reading. I've been reading all day, so Little Rot. Book number 2 is complete. Little Rot by Akwaeke Emezi. I just finished this book. This story follows a group of people all in New Lagos and how they all get kind of mixed up in the underbelly of this city, particularly starting at the sex party that is put on by Ahmed. They get mixed up into some stuff that they should not be mixed up in or are already mixed up in and can't, and just seem to find themselves falling deeper and deeper into. Akwaeke Emezi does a great job in exploring the little rot in each one of their characters. I gave it 4 stars on Storygraph. I gave it 4 stars. And that's just strictly because like the storytelling, like this book propelled me forward. It kept me going through it. You have a lot of characters in this book and they all kind of have different point of views. It's told in third person, but it's like you're following one person. So in the beginning of the book, we're following Kalu, and Kalu just broke up with Ima. They were supposed to be getting married. They had been together for like 4 years, yada yada, but they were having issues in their relationship, differences. And so they had split, and that's when he went to the sex party with Ahmed. That's who we're following like first, and we were following Ima, his girl who he broke up with, yada yada. We were following her for a little bit. So that was just kind of like, okay, we're kind of getting into like, we're touching the surface. But when we switched to Ahmed's point of view, something about it kind of just switched on for me, and it clicked, and it just made me go, what is wrong with him? Like, Ahmed was kind of sick in the head. He knew about like this because these are like his sex parties. And so once we got there and we're seeing all these things, and he's just going around just exchanging bodily fluids. I said it before, but so much bodily fluids. Like, this book is low-key nasty. Like, like, can y'all stop? Can y'all be cool? Even Kalu, who was so like righteous, who acted like he was just so, oh, I would never do these things, but he was still going to these parties, being around these people, doing these things with women who he was not in a relationship with, like, even while they were in a relationship. So it's like, and Emezi talks about it in the book as well, where there's a line in there that's like, you know, the city will slowly, like, you think you can play in the rot and you'll be good, but it'll slowly consume you. And I feel like that's what we were watching. Like, we were watching Kalu be consumed. What's also interesting to me is how Ima and Kalu were kind of purposefully naive to what was going on. So when they were brought into these situations, it was almost like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like, I feel like the people around them were trying to keep them, or trying to protect them and keep them out of it and stuff, because it's like they were so naive and they really had no sense of what was actually happening in this city. Ima is so delusional. Like, she was actually frustrating me because I'm like, girl, you need to get a grip. Like, she could not fathom that, you know, these people who hold all this power in the city were actually not good people. She was like, wait, no, like, he wouldn't know anything about this. Da, da, da. Every scene packs a punch, and every scene's going to whack you across your face. Like, it really is. And I love the way that it's written, though. I love the way Akwaeke Emezi wrote this book. This is not something I would reread. This is not something I would reread. I'm so sorry, because it was just like, once is enough. This book is not for the faint of heart. If you are a sensitive girly, not for you. If you're going to pick this up, check the trigger warnings, because a lot of stuff happens in it. Everybody has some type of trauma. Everybody is repressed sexually in some way. Like, check the trigger warnings if you are going to pick this book up, because it is very, 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 very gruesome. I will say that the ending and like the punishment that Kalu had to experience for whatever reason, if you've read this, you know. I kind of saw that coming. I was like, okay. When they were gathering all the pieces, I was like, oh, he's about to do that. And so when we got there, I didn't feel like as shocked by it, which I feel like is a good thing, because there's enough shock value in this book already. So it was okay for me to like know what was about to happen. Another Akwaeke Emezi book down. I think this is probably like my 5th or 6th one. I am working my way through all of their books. TBH. I picked up Blood Like Magic by Liselle Sambury, 3rd and final book for this vlog. So I was on page 152. And according to Storygraph, that was 30% of the way through the book. Out of all the books, because The Measure, I was basically finished with. Little Rot, I was a little less than halfway through. So this one, and she's a thick baby. She's 483 pages. So this is the one that I am the least furthest through. But hopefully I'll be able to knock it out. So I've already started. I've gotten into it. I'm just kind of remembering all the characters and getting situated into the story. So this is following Voya, and she's a witch. And this book kind of takes place in like the intersection between like magic and technology. So the society, there's magicians, there's witches, there's magic, people know that, and there's also technology. So so you're getting kind of like this like futuristic version of Canada, but her family makes money through their magic, but magic is slowly becoming less important because technology is advancing, yada yada. Each woman in their family has a specific task that they have to complete once to go through like this ritual. Something went wrong with Voya's, and basically now her task is to kill her first love. And I had to make sure that wasn't a spoiler. It's on the back. That's what we're following right now, is like her trying to figure out how to first fall in love, because she's not in love, fall in love, and then kill this person in a very short amount of time, because she has to complete this task or her family will lose their magic. There's a lot of characters in this book because she lives in a house with like basically her whole like extended family, her aunts, her uncles, her grannies, her cousins. Her mom and her dad both live there, even though they're divorced, or her dad lives there with her stepmother and their kid. And it's just a lot. So definitely coming back into it after some time is like, okay, I need to be like, wait, who are these people? Trying to like remember. But luckily I have a pretty good like memory. Like once I get into a book, I generally remember like, okay, yeah, I'm just getting kind of reacclimated to the book. I'm hoping that I can finish this, because I kind of want to finish this vlog. Like I feel like I've been vlogging for so long because it took me so forever to finish the measure. So I kind of want to finish this vlog this week. So I'm hoping to finish this book this week. So I'm really going to be prioritizing reading it and getting it through, okay? Because this book has been sitting on my shelf and I haven't read it, and I've just started it and I'm sick of it just sitting. It's been too long. It has been several days. I'm lying. It has been several days. It's been like a couple days. I'm on page 202, I believe. And honestly, I need them to wrap this book up. It is so long. I'm 200 pages in and I still don't feel very compelled. There are things that I like about it. I like the familial dynamics. I like the relationships. I like the way the main character, when she's interacting with her cousins, I think that's very cute, very real, and very sweet to read about. But when I put this book down, I have absolutely no desire to pick it back up again. This is not something that's like pulling me to read it every single time. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to, like, I understand how this book got put down and put on the shelf for so long, because there's nothing happening in this book that's like, ooh, what are they up to? Like, what's going on? Like, I want to know. There is the plot of the fact that she has to kill her first love. And so you're like, oh my God, is she actually going to do it? Is she not going to do it? How's this work? Why was she given this quest? You know, like, what's going on? Like, there are things going on, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't really care. So, but I need to get through this book because I am traveling and I don't want to bring this book with me. I want to finish it tonight. So I did get the audiobook for it, and I'm going to have the audiobook. Hopefully with the audiobook, that'll help me fast forward and get through the rest of this book. And it is narrated by Jonice Abbott Pratt, who is like my favorite narrator of all time. So I'm so hyped that she's the narrator for this book. And so I think that combined with the audiobook is going to propel me forward. And so we can wrap this book up and wrap this vlog up. Okay. this is getting better. Pairing it with audiobook was definitely a great idea. It is helping me kind of get more into this book. I don't think this book is bad. I think this book has a lot of characters in it, and you're getting kind of into a lot of family drama, which I am liking. Like, there's secrets, there's things that's going on. And I think for me, this book definitely suffered when I stopped in the middle of it and I put it down and then coming back into it. I think I needed a little bit more time to get into the book more fully so I could truly enjoy it. But now that I'm like more into the book, I'm like in chapter 25, I'm on page 329. So I'm really like, I think I made huge progress. There's so much going on and there's so many secrets in this family. And it's kind of reminding me of Encanto a little bit, where they have like the matriarch and everybody has powers, and their powers are fading for some reason or other, but the adults won't talk about it with the children, and so there's secrets and stuff, and like the children are finding out things that the adults never want them to go through, because Voya specifically has to go through her calling to get her gift, and her calling is a very intense one that's not normal. And usually callings take like 1 to 2 days, but since her calling was to literally kill or destroy her first love, um her calling is taking way longer, and way longer means a lot of complications. She's having like hallucinations. All of these things are happening around her while she's learning some like deep dark secrets about a family that she never, like, she thought that her family was so put together, and like, even though it wasn't perfect, it's like, hey, we love each other. But she's kind of getting into the nitty-gritty side of it, and that's kind of interesting to read about. I'm happy that I picked this book back up. I know I was complaining about it, but honestly, my mood has switched around. I'm gonna finish this out, and when I come back to you guys, it's going to be my final thoughts. Okay, it's 2 a.m. and I just finished A Blood Like Magic by Liselle Sambury. Honestly, this was pretty good. Not gonna lie to you, I gave it 3 stars. I might bump it up to like a 3.25, 3.5, depending on how I'm feeling tomorrow. But honestly, this had a lot of really good things in it, and I started to really enjoy kind of the magic system and the families and the world building as I was getting deeper into this novel. Like I said previously, I really think that I would have liked this more if I just read it all in one go instead of pausing in between. But sometimes you put a book down. Like, that's the life of a mood reader. That's who I am. So, I can't say that it won't happen again, because it will. And I'm not ashamed about it. Honestly, some of the stuff I found was kind of predictable. I was like, oh yeah, like I saw that. I saw that kind of coming. But other stuff I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, okay, like, what are we cooking up? What are we cooking up? So this book has left me excited to read the next one. Maybe not excited, but it has me interested. I am intrigued to see what the next book is going to entail and how they're going to continue on Voya's story. So I'm excited for that. And I do already own the second book, so I'm like, period. I don't know when I'm going to be starting that though, because these books are mad thick. But yeah, I'm so happy that like I actually completed this book. Had to pull a slight little all-nighter moment, but that's okay. We got it closed out. We got it finished. Amen. Hallelujah. We completed 3 books in this vlog. The first one being The Measure by Nikki Erlick, then Little Rot by Akwaeke Emezi, and then rounding us out with Blood Like Magic by Liselle Sambury. And these are all the books. And honestly, it's so crazy that I just kind of slammed these 3 books together. They're all very different reads, very different writing styles, very different stories, characters, like a lot. Something these books all did have in common was that they all have a diverse set of cast. They all have ensemble cast. I would say there's a large amount. I feel like Blood Like Magic is the one that has a more of like a main character. Like Voya is the singular voice that we're hearing in this story. While these other ones, they all have different points of views and stories. But nonetheless, there are so many characters in this book that you have to kind of consider all of their motives and stories. There's also a lot of characters in these books, and you have to consider their motives and stories. So I think that's kind of interesting. Honestly, I just slammed these books together because these were the books that I was currently in the middle of, which is the namesake of this whole vlog. If you like this stuff, please let me know and we can make more, because I have so many books I'm in the middle of, honestly, because I am a chronic book starter. And the fact that these are also different goes to show that I will put down anything. Like, it does not matter. It does not matter who's writing it, what the story's about. I will put down anything and pick something else up. I don't care. I like to spread out. I like to sample taste. I like to treat my books like charcuterie boards, okay? And sample them out, taste around, see what I'm really feeling. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts, and tune in for the next one. I'm going to be providing the content. All you have to do is watch it and like and comment and share. Like, that's it. Like, that's not even a lot. That's like 3 things. You know what I mean? That's 3 things. That's easy. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to stay beautiful. I'm exhausted. So, bye. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.